help Mrs. Harrison out? Yeah. Please help Mrs. Harrison out. Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.
It's art class time!
Welcome to Art Class. This podcast will cover an art lesson on creating your name in graffiti and discussing the artist Banksy. Today's spotlight artist is shrouded in mystery. Although he is famous worldwide, no one knows his real identity. Okay, a friend accidentally outed him in an interview, but don't tell your students about the particulars. Where's the fun in that? We are talking about Banksy. He and other street artists helped start an art movement that took graffiti off the streets and into fine art museums and prestigious auction houses. The street art movement is happening during our lifetime, which is easier to get students to relate to than the Renaissance in 1400. Begin the lesson by asking your students, is graffiti art? It's a good question. Get a discussion going about what makes it legal or illegal. All art communicates something. The street art movement is known for communicating social injustice and dark humor. Show your students Banksy's piece, Girl with Balloon, and have them comment on it. Ask, how does it feel to a young child when they lose their grip on a balloon and watch it as it flies away? Why do you suppose Banksy chose to paint a balloon in the shape of a heart? Why do you think the artist chose to use one color and use it sparingly? Near the mural, you can read the phrase, "There is always hope." Why include that phrase in the piece? Banksy is legendary for visiting a city undercover and leaving his mark all over town for people to discover. In Park City, Utah, the owner of a coffee shop opened up one morning and encountered a Banksy on the side of the building. Show students the Banksy piece, Camera, Man, and Flower. See if the kids can figure out what Banksy is trying to communicate through this piece. Again, there is only one color, and it is used in one small area. Why do you think? Notice the expression on the cameraman's face. Is he happy, sad, indifferent? What's happening to the flower? Point out the protective covering with Banksy's name on it. People have gone to great lengths to either disassemble a wall in order to sell it at auction or destroy a Banksy with their own graffiti. How do you think Banksy feels about both? Being a graffiti artist, do you think he cares that another graffiti artist leaves their mark on his? If you are able to show a video in your classroom, you must play the Girl with the Balloon that recently sold at auction for $1.4 million. As the auctioneer slams his gavel down and shouts, "Sold!" Banksy presses a remote control that lowers the artwork through a paper shredder that was secretly built into the picture frame. You can see the people standing around can't grasp what's happening right away. And the irony of Banksy protesting his art being owned by the wealthy few is that the piece was worth more after being shredded. The lesson. Students will create street art, legally, by drawing and coloring their name in a graffiti font. Work in pencil first, since they will be arranging and rearranging the letters. Find graffiti alphabet sheets online or use the link in the show description. Lettering is difficult for most students, so have them trace the letters to spell their name or a word or short phrase. Show students samples of graffiti or even a book on graffiti art. Notice how the letters overlap each other to turn individual letters into a unified piece of art. Outlining the letters in black mimics spray painting the outline. Don't worry if the outline gets colored on. The final step is to go over the outline one last time. Also difficult for kids is the concept of a drop shadow. Ask students to notice that the thick black shadow cast by each letter is always below each letter and always on the right, or you can say always on the left, but pick one. The drop shadow makes the piece look 3D. Trace the overlapping letters first, then consider that a letter in the front will cast a shadow onto the letter directly behind it. Have students give their lettering their own unique touch by adding drips of paint, an underline, arrows, rainbows, or splashes and streaks of paint. The nature of spray paint is that the colors blend together smoothly. Help students choose a medium to color the lettering. Markers, colored pencil, and oil pastel work well. They have vibrant color, that is easily blended. Students should decide on a color palette of 2 to 4 colors to use in the letters. For example, color all of the lettering blue at the bottom. Then blend the blue into purple across the middle of all the lettering, ending with the blue blending into pink across the top of all the letters. Adding small dots of white create highlights that add to the three-dimensional look. This artwork looks super cool when it's cut out and glued onto a notebook cover or sketchbook cover. A background can also be added. If you like, make copies of the kids' work to use in a future printmaking project in another podcast. Have fun creating legal graffiti art and remind the kids that without permission, it is vandalism. We want law-abiding artists in this class. Now here's your homework.
Please like and subscribe.
Thank you.